Whether it's from a forensic point of view, police detectives, or a good old-fashioned private investigator, there are many facets to a mystery novel that makes it a page-turner from cover to cover. A good mystery novel sucks you in, has you thinking about everything that's going on, and takes you along for a ride that makes you cheer for the bad guy being found and arrested. The problem is how to write one that does everything I've just said. There are certain things you have to do to make people want to grab the book and turn those pages. So, if you want to learn how to write a mystery, the lesson starts after the intro. Number 1. The antagonist. Even the bad guy needs to be likable and human to an extent. You can't write in a cold-hearted kidnapper, killing machine, or rapist and expect people to read it. You have to round out your character. Here are a few questions you need to ask when wanting to write your antagonist. Number 1. Who is this person? You have to be the bad guy and get into the person's mind. Number 2. What is their motivation? What pushed them over the edge? You have to really think about this one. What happened in this person's life to make them commit the crimes they commit? Did something happen at home? Did they lose their job? Did something happen when they were growing up? There's always something that leads to the crime in question. Some of the most often used motivations are: Number 1, a crime of passion. They killed their ex and the ex's lover. Number 2, inheritance or money. They tried to kill the person before the will was rewritten, or bank robbers. 3, hatred of men or women. This can lead to a serial killer novel. I will get into this after the list. 4, possessed. This would be getting into a supernatural or fantasy novel. Number 5, ritualistic murders. Again, this can be a supernatural novel or a serial killer trying to cover up their killings. Number 6, assassination. Was the person hired to do the killing? This would lead to finding the person who hired them and why. For those of us who have seen Criminal Minds, we've gotten a good glimpse into the different serial killers that are out there. This show can also give you ideas on motive. Other shows are NCIS and its spin-offs, CSI and its spin-offs, Law & Order and their spin-offs as well. Some authors that give really good insight into procedure, medical examination, and police work or detective work are James Patterson, Iris Johansen, John Grisham, and Patricia Cornwell. The protagonist. Who is this person? Is it a medical examiner, police detective, private person who's been ignored, private investigator? We all love a good hero, but what makes a good hero is their humanity, vulnerability, and the fact they aren't perfect. They have quirks. They aren't crime-solving machines. Much like the antagonist, they have a backstory that must be told as the story unfolds. This can be in one novel or over the course of a series. Think Scarpetta, Alex Cross, Eve. All these characters have backstories. They have lives. They make us like them through how they think, how they interact with other people, and how they come to the conclusions they come to in the novel. They make you want to cheer for them. Making a mystery believable. In order to make a mystery believable, you have to know your source material. How does the law work? How does forensics work? What is a chain of evidence? You are, after all, writing, in most cases, in the current time. Your city must be familiar. The best way to do this is write the novels in the city in which you live. You can write about other cities, but you would have to make them familiar to you so you can pass that feeling along. You are the guide to the city in the novel. You can't assume the reader of your novel knows where all of these places are. This is why most authors write novels in and about their hometown. You always have to keep in mind these key elements to make a mystery work: motive, opportunity, means. If any of these fall apart, so will your story. It's not only the layman that reads mysteries, professionals do as well, and they can spot a mistake from a mile off. So, if you have to, call your local law enforcement and ask if you can come in and talk to them. Let them know you're writing a mystery novel, and there are some things you want to get right. They will usually let you come and ask questions. The same will go for lawyers, private detectives, bounty hunters, and the like. This will help you round your story out and make it more accurate. This is where I ask you, the viewer, to answer some questions. After all, what is the point in a workshop if not to learn, right? And if you have any questions about this week's topics, please put them below. Who's your favorite mystery author? Why do you like to read that particular author? When reading their novels, do you often come to the conclusion before the end of the story? Are there parts of the story you think they could have done better? Next week, we'll go over fantasy novels, which will be a multi-part series. Remember, every good story starts with an idea, just a simple one. Then with a little coaxing, a little love, and a lot of dedication, it grows into something wonderful. Until next time, open your mind, and inspiration will follow.